Hello and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I insulated the ramp in our cargo trailer. And also I'm going to show you the product and the process I used to coat the ramp, which also doubles as our deck. All right, so first we got to travel back in time a little bit to May of 2024. And we also have to hop a few states over to North Carolina. So that is actually where I started this whole process of the trailer. I got a decent chunk of it done with our time down there. And then when we moved back up to Minnesota, I finished the trailer. So the first half of this video is going to be taking place in North Carolina a year and a half ago, which is crazy to think about. And then the second half of it is just in the last few months here back in Minnesota. All right, guys, well, happy October. Can you do me a favor before we get into this video? Can you click on that like button and then comment below, what are you most excited for this upcoming fall season? It's October, temps are starting to drop, the leaves are changing, it's beautiful outside. Personally, I'm most excited and looking forward to having some bonfires and campfires outside. So comment below, what are you looking forward to? All right, so say hello to John from 2024 using an old GoPro. Kind of bear with me there on the audio and the video. It wasn't great. I was just kind of filming stuff with the idea of like, hey, I'll turn this into a YouTube channel someday. And never having really put together a video, doing any editing. I wasn't really sure how I should be filming it, where I should have the camera set up, the way I was speaking. So it's kind of funny to go back and watch young John as he's learning through this whole process. But welcome to North Carolina. All right, well, today's project, we are going to be insulating the ramp. So I have gotten a quote from a company down here for doing spray foam on the majority of the trailer, walls and the ceiling. I had them include the ramp and the underside of the trailer. I debated going back and forth on whether I pull this whole thing up and have them spray in there. I mean, I could ask them, now that I've got this open, if they would be able to get a hose or something further down to fill that cavity in and let it work out. But I was looking at it, it's 1.5 inches. There's nothing really obstructing me from getting some foam board, cutting it and sliding it into each of these cavities. 1/4 inch piece of OSB here, which is roughly like 0.9 R value, so there is a little bit of a thermal break on there. And then the other thing is I'm also going to be rhino lining the ramp door, because once we're done, lift it up, I'm going to get some legs that'll essentially lift this up. So this will be suspended like so, and it kind of turns into a little bit of a deck, just a little bit more air to hang out outside. So anytime you're working with the springs and ramp doors, with this spring here and these adjustment bars, there is a lot of tension on this bar. You can do it a couple ways. You can completely release it and let it all go, and then have to reset it, get the right bars for adjusting it, tightening this back down onto it. So what I did was I cheated a little bit, use my vice grip here to get the tension off so I could unhook this from the ramp door, and I'll show you how I hook that back up as we go. I got the tension off of this so I could unhook the cables and pull the top piece of my board off. And now my cables are just kind of loose, but I can just rewrap those back into the grooves when it comes time to hook it back up. That's easy enough. But this right here, as long as that doesn't fail, that is holding a lot of tension. And I've got a 1.5, I got my 2x braced on this is what it's resting on. You can see if I pull it down, there's quite a bit of tension on it, which I will do. And I actually had it flipped around and I had it clamped up onto the roof. That was what holding the tension the other way. And then once that's down, I'll hook it back up. But once I get that cut in, insulated, I went to Lowe's. I picked up some 1.5 inch polypro. It's telling me on here that if if you get the right spacing, which I'm not going to be able to get the 3/4 inch because I'm filling in the cavity, but 6.6. So roughly, I'm hoping that I'll get about a 7. I don't have the 3/4 inch airspace in there. I'm going to be able, my cavity, it's 1.5 inches, and I've got an 1.5 inch board, so it'll be in there tight. But I'm hoping that I'll get about a 7 and 8, which honestly, I'm okay with, because the R value on the spray foam and 1.5 inches is going to be roughly about the same. It's going to be a lot more money to spray foam, and the reason I'm going with spray foam on all of the trailer as opposed to doing foam board is I want some of the rigidity of doing the closed cell, because once that gets sprayed on, you can see I've got a little bit of flex on the wall. This one's not too bad, but like on something like this, there's still some flex. Once that spray foam hits it and it's closed cell, that is going to lock this up, and it's going to essentially turn it into a one-piece solid trailer. The rigidity's there. I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about closing in that cap, and my Polypro foam board is going to do that just well. And then once it's done being spray foamed, we're going to rhino line this, get it coated, and we're going to have a sweet little deck here that still functions as a ramp. About half the trailer is open all the way to the front, so if need be, I can still haul stuff in there, or for taking a camping trip, we can throw the girls' bikes in there and what have you, and we're still going to be able to utilize the ramp function and loading stuff into the trailer. We're ready to do the foam. Here's what you need to get her done. Your foam board, straight edge, tape measure, a knife. Since it's a 4-foot piece, 4 foot's gonna bring me, this is 47 inches because I'm hitting on the bottom stud. So 4 foot's gonna bring me right here, and then it'll be easier to actually slide those panels in as opposed to trying to do long ones, rip it all the way in. So you grab a cavity, see what it is. We're 12.5, so I'm gonna do it 12 3/8. Give myself just a little bit of wiggle room. Forgot one other thing you need. Some type of a marker. Grab a straight edge. Run the knife through it again. Stand it up. Side. Cut it there. Whoa. How far I need to get it needs to go pretty much 1 inch from there, so we got a ways to go. There you go, 1 down, 5 to go. We got the first one in, we're gonna grab some more. But what I'm gonna do is just grab all the measurements, 4 and 5/16. This one's gonna be 11. We're gonna do 10. All right, now we'll go in the garage and we'll just cut those all up, and then we'll throw them in there. We know. All right, first one.
Second one.
Time to put her back together. What I'm working on here is getting the cable restrung around the drum. And I don't actually show you guys the whole process of rehooking the cables back onto the eyelets that was screwed onto the ramp just right before this, because my camera died, I think. Again, this is October of 2025, and in the video here was from May of 2024. So my apologies. I think the battery died. Otherwise, I'm not really sure why I didn't get the footage of this, but all I was doing was restringing the cable around the drum. And then once I had it set, I was able to screw it back onto the eyelets that are on the ramp. And then very, very carefully release the tension off of your bar, and then your ramp will be ready to coil back up. But that first time, as you're coiling it up, just be careful, take it nice and easy, and make sure that the coils are right back on the track of where they need to go. Back in Minnesota. And today we are putting on the second coat on the trailer ramp door, which also doubles as our deck. I've got one coat on. You can probably see there's a few areas here where the coverage didn't get quite as thick as I wanted. So we're gonna do a second coat. The truck bed liner that I'm using. Using this one from Custom Shop. It's a 2-part. And then you got your hardener. Oh, I guess 3-part if you do the color. So you can also see the first time around, forgot to do the edges. So we're gonna get it prepped and get that second coat on there. Gives you all your ratios. Everything is already pre-measured out, so then you just put it together, and then you just really got to make sure that you mix it up well. So they say to mix it for at least 2 minutes. And so with this being my second coat, I'm just going to use a flat paint roller. The first coat I used a textured paint roller, a little bit of an actual texture on the board, which helps for walking up and down. It's not so slick or slippery. The other thing, just make sure you got it cleaned off pretty well, nice and dry. Any dirt, dust, anything like that, get all that off. So this stuff can either be sprayed on if you have a sprayer, and then you can actually buy a gun that comes with it. Then if you got a good air compressor, you can hook it up and go right off that. It actually just, the gun screws on to this. So then you're upside down, and then you got your whole all-in-one, which is nice too with it being already pre-mixed. But I'm just using a roller for today, and that goes on great as well. So I think I'm ready to start rolling. So let's get rolling. Once you open it up and use the brush roller, you don't have a very long pot life, so you got to work quick, especially if you're outside where it's sunny like this. It's drying pretty quick. There we go, got the second coat on. Doing a little walk around, checking the angle, see how it looks, and then you can see the brush marks,
Have it put on one of yours.
which is hard to do when you're not in a complete controlled environment. Covered up all the areas that were showing through, so there we go. And now we'll have a nice durable deck and patio, And then when we're walking in and out, we got good texture in case it gets slippery or anything like that. Okay, there we go. That was my video of how I insulated the ramp and used the truck liner to give a nice durable coat onto the ramp, which is also our deck, as you can see here. I love it. It's easy to clean, it looks nice, and it provides a good walking surface. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and leave a comment about your favorite part. And then, if you want to see more videos, make sure to check out our channel for other camping videos, family adventure videos, and how we built our own off-grid cargo trailer camper. Make sure to subscribe and then hit that bell icon so you'll be notified when we post new videos. We share every Saturday morning and every other Thursday afternoon. And keep an eye out for the random short videos that might get posted. Thanks for watching, and please share the channel if you know someone else who might enjoy this as well. See you on the next adventure.